You. Yep. I don't know how long this live will be. I got to get up early in the morning. My idiot friends always make their golf time sometimes at like 7:30 in the morning. See, even my friends are idiots, okay? There's no negativity derived from that. Yes, my husband, he works in the FBI, Gray, and he says you're wrong on everything. Oh boy. What, did he say I was wrong when I said 1 + 1 = 2? Interesting. Might want to get that guy checked out. Well, to be fair, Grace, she didn't say everything. She said most everything you said. Okay, well. Yep. Now look at Blue just settled in, and then he's gone. He did show up there. Or was that really a loop? He's not... Maybe Blue isn't even here anymore. And I just have this loop that keeps... Of course, there's people that actually believe that kind of stuff. Isn't that weird? Hey, Blue, come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Come here, Blue. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on, buddy. Look. Here's Blue, all right? All right, Blue. See, there he is. He's literally... Oh, he's right here. He's not fake. Okay, he's not on a loop. Unless this is a new toy that they made that looks like a dog that just happens to look exactly like the dog that I have. All right? So there he is. Anyways, Blue, say hello to everybody. There you go, look, right there. Just don't fart in my face, all right, Blue? That wouldn't be good. Right in there, look right into that light. There you go. All right, there's Blue for you guys, all right. Man, this chair is loud. Can't wait to throw it in the trash heap. Hey, what's going on? Oh, he did. God, wow. Look at that. He's so still already. I thought maybe that is just a still. I mean, he went right out of my hands and now is absolutely stone cold still. That's nuts. Look at that. All right. I thought this was kind of strange. Somebody said, "Hey, Gray, any updates on Fretwell?" So I typed it in, and there is. Well, it's not. I don't know if you call it an update, but I thought it was strange that it had a comparison to an old case using the term. What was it? Corpus delicti, something like that. And it's weird because, or no corpus delicti, or delicti. We actually talked about that yesterday, I think, in regards to the, what case was that? Man, there's so many now. I think it was the one with the Erica Nicole Baker, the girl that disappeared walking her dog, and then eventually they arrest somebody who admitted to doing it, but there was no body and no crime scene, and that's why he got let out of jail, basically. So it's weird. I mean, I hadn't even heard of that term, And then 2 days in a row, it shows up in 2 different articles. I guess that's called serendipity. So let's see what this says here. Okay, let me get the right screen up for you guys. Ooh, boy.
On Wolf for Carissa and William Fretwell. We're still conducting that investigation. However, we have taken into custody Michael John Wolf.
Yeah.
He has been taken into custody in the tonight.
This is old.
Based on some other court records.
Okay, but it says almost a month after Carissa Fretwell, 25 of Salem. Let me turn down the music. Carissa Fretwell, 25 of Salem, and her 3-year-old son William went missing. Michael Wolf remains behind bars in Yamhill County, indicted for their murders and denied bail. The Gaston man could face the death penalty if convicted, but the mom and toddler are still missing. Without bodies or a crime scene, prosecution becomes much more complicated. But it would not be Oregon's first so-called no-body homicide case. They are more common than people think. I think they're really common, like serial killers, for example. It happens all the time. Consider the Marion County murder trial of Gerald Miller. Miller's wife of 29 years, Crystal Miller, disappeared in 1984. 5 years later, his second wife, Carol Miller, vanished. Wow, who does that sound like, everybody? 1, 2, 3, Drew. Fill it in. Man, there you go. Somebody at least typed it in. If I go, hey, what's the name of that street? 75 people type in the street name. All right. According to witnesses, the Salem resident, this is talking about that old case, bragged he couldn't be prosecuted for killing his wives because their bodies would never be recovered. No corpus delicti. I don't know what the emphasis is, like the, what part of the word you emphasize. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Is that right? Delicti? Okay, and that was in 1984 in the Statesman Journal. No crime scene, no case. Yet, despite never finding either woman's body, prosecutors charged Miller with murdering both of his wives. After years of painstaking research and investigation, the case went to trial in 1993. With no crime scene or bodies, prosecutors used 370 exhibits and 122 witnesses to prove the victims did not just go missing and that Gerald Miller was the one who killed them. They showed that both women kept regular contact with their families before vanishing and that both had left all their personal effects behind. Before each disappearance, Miller had developed relationships with other women. Afterward, he discouraged people from searching for his missing wives, immediately disposed of their belongings, and gave their jewelry to his new girlfriends. God, what a piece of work. If this case happened now, he'd be like the number one story, because this is all the stuff everyone loves right here. Right? I mean, he's got gave his ex-wife's jewelry to the new girls. I mean, you guys got to admit, man, this would be like a huge story. But people weren't as into true crime in 1993 and 1987. The case was historic not just because police never found the bodies, but because prosecutors relied entirely on circumstantial evidence, no eyewitnesses, no confession, and no crime scene. Let's see. Just still the same. Okay. DiBiase, the former federal prosecutor, has detailed more than 500 no-body homicides nationwide, including several Oregon cases. While working as an assistant U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C., I don't know if it's DiBiase began searching such cases while prosecuting a no-body homicide. After the case ended, he kept researching and cataloging no-body murder trials going back to 1800s to collect details and court outcomes. He went on to publish a book on prosecuting no-body cases. Okay, so I think there are two big reasons. Number one is, let's see, said more than half the cases he tracked went to trial in the last 20 years. I think there's two big reasons. Number one is DNA, which has changed tremendously since the year 2000. The second reason, and perhaps the most important, is the advent of people leaving behind all sorts of electronic trails. Hey, digital DNA! That weren't around 40 years ago. Cell phones, cell tower, text messaging, social media, and video surveillance all leave behind evidence. I mean, yeah, those things have made such a huge difference. Because before cell phones, you could never prove where somebody was. And now, at least you know that their cell phone was in a certain area. That's why it's so idiotic these days when criminals still drive around doing crimes with their phone on them. It's amazing. It's just sort of like 101 shit. Let's see. Phone records show that Fretwell and Wolf, 52, were in the same location during the night she and her son disappeared because the idiot left his phone on. Thank you, though. A probable cause statement released by Yamhill County Court said Salem police had enough evidence to arrest Wolf after cell towers placed his phone driving to downtown Salem area late on May 13th and returning to his workplace early May 14th. Detectives said Fretwell's phone was in the same place during the same time frame, indicating that she and Wolf were together overnight May 13th. A family member contacted police after she went to Fretwell's apartment and found the front door unlocked and the television on. Items that Fretwell used to take care of William, her bank card, and an Oregon Trail card were left behind. Fretwell's eyeglasses were also left in the home. I mean, so everything was left behind that she would need to go out and survive with. So then when you consider that he was over at her house, and then all of a sudden she just miraculously is gone with her child, but didn't take anything she would need. See, there's another error that he made. He should have taken her phone, the checkbook, all her glasses, things that she would need if she was to leave on her own. But he didn't do any of that stuff. So it's just like, this guy's one of the dumbest criminals that's ever existed. I guarantee it, everybody in here, if you were psycho enough to commit a crime like that, you wouldn't do any of the stuff that he did because you actually follow true crime, right? Which is kind of weird because that girl that we discussed last night, she apparently was a subscriber to a lot of true crime channels, and yet she seemed like she just wanted to be caught, though. I don't think she was trying to actually get away with it. They also told police she had recently taken Wolf, her former co-worker, and William's biological father to court over child support. Yep. Based on the interviews of Carissa's family and friends, I believe the only known person who would benefit from the disappearance or criminal homicide of Carissa and William is Michael, a Salem detective wrote in the probable cause statement. Yeah. I can tell you how the murder... Yeah. So, not missing but dead. DiBiase said the biggest hurdle to overcome in no-body homicides is getting the case to trial. When you don't have the body, You don't have the depth of evidence in a case, he said. The body can tell you how a murder happened, when it happened, and where it happened. Without that, investigators start at a disadvantage, he said. Once enough evidence is gathered to bring a case to trial, the next difficulty is convincing jurors a person is dead and not just missing. Yeah, wow. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. So here, I'll put this in the description. It's actually pretty interesting. I read it, earlier, but I'm not going to, there's every bit of it was interesting, so it's hard to just take bullet points out of it. Yeah, there it is. All right, I'm going to put it under sources. All right, there you go. It's in the description right now. If you look in the description, there it is. Okay, now the title of the video for today is another cold case. The Parabon does it again. And they say 20-year-old, how old is this case? This one's 32 years. All right, and the thing is I tried to look her up, her even missing in the area, and I couldn't find one story, but it turns out that they are both in the military. Okay, both of them at the time. And let's just go through this because it's pretty interesting. Okay, so for decades, justice went unserved in the brutal rape and killing of 20-year-old Fort Carson soldier Darlene Krashoc. 2 years ago, I think I inhaled some liquid a couple days ago, and my lungs are kind of messed up. So, again, I forgot that we're supposed to actually breathe air. It's weird. Like when I'm underwater, I just start breathing. I wouldn't make a good scuba diver. Although I'm a good swimmer. 2 years ago, the Army put up a $1,000 reward and released a computer-generated picture of what the killer looked like in 1987, based on his DNA and what he might look like 30 years older. Now, this is one of the times where Parabon's phenotyping product didn't work that well, in my opinion. But it also reflected in the percentage odds that they were right, and this one was one of the lowest ones I've seen. But it was genetic genealogy DNA analysis, the new forensic field. So thank you so much, GED Match, for putting a halt to all of this. You guys are wonderful. The new forensic field combining DNA comparisons with family trees and help nab the Golden State Killer. And they'll say, well, we didn't really put a halt to it. We just lowered. Yes, you did. Okay. There's only like 50,000 people in the database when there was 1 million before. That's a huge difference. But it was a genetic genealogy DNA analyst, or analysis, the new forensic field combining DNA comparisons with family trees that helped nab the Golden State Killer that led authorities to a suspect this year. All right, now look at the picture here. You see the eye color there? Here's the actual product that they pop out with. Skin color, I think they got that pretty close. But the eye color, they have it way over here in the brownish area. And his eyes are they're in this one over here. They actually put no chance, I don't know if that means there's no chance at hazel with the X there. But that's actually the color of his eyes. Look at that. They're sort of a bluish, definitely, they look hazel to me. And they literally X that out, meaning there's no chance at that. I think that's what that means. All right, and wow, so that's 100% wrong on that. Although, you know, the eye color one they have at 71.4% accurate. Hair color, they have it really light brown. And, you know, that looks like probably what it looked like before he got older. And freckles, 73%. He does look like somebody that would have freckles, really light skin. But, man, they really messed up on the eye color, though. Wasn't even close. Right, and what we discussed on 3 Men in a Mystery was it seems like the phenotyping is sort of, Morph actually came up with a really good analogy. He said it was like, you know, VHS tapes compared to CDs, right? Like, why would you buy a VHS tape if you have a CD player? Right? The thing is the genetic genealogy is really all you want to do. You don't need to do the phenotyping anymore. It was cool like in 2016, but this stuff here all came out in the last couple of years, the genealogy research. So if you're going to spend, I think the phenotyping is like 2,500 and genetic genealogy is 3,500. So why would you even spend the other 2,500? Just add another 1,000 and go straight to genealogy. There's really no point in, I don't believe, unless, here's what they could do. It's like you have DNA, and if they made that product like $300 or $400, then people could use it, and if it started, you know, narrowed down a little bit, and then you could then put the 3,500 into the genealogy research. But I really don't think there's really no reason to pay for anymore the phenotyping. Okay, I mean, do you guys agree with that? Because what's the point? The genealogy research, you actually find the person. You know, in this case, you're just getting what the guy might look like, and it's not even that accurate. I mean, it's pretty accurate, but not 100%. Hey, thanks, Kit Kat. Kit Kat Bar. Yeah. All right, so let me go back up to here. Let's go through this story here. Michael Whyte, 58, was arrested Thursday on suspicion of first-degree murder at his home in the 1500 block of East 131st Place in Thornton. I actually found that location earlier. All right, so let's go to that. Yeah, there it is. So they said 1500 block. It's actually 1507. So he lives right here in this house. And it's a nice house. I don't know what he does now for work. If you guys want to look that up, that'd be cool. I'm not sure. Ooh, God, that was a slow kick, and I saw it right at the end, the street view of it. So it's not this house. It's this one right here. But he lives in this house. So just look at that. Man, he got to live all those years, 32 years, just doing his thing, you know, making money. You know, I don't know if he got married or whatever. There are 2 cars in here because I was able to back up a little bit, and you can see another tire right there inside the garage. And this is street view, although this street view is from 2012, so I don't know. The address is actually, hold on, I got it. I mean, I don't know why you need it, but 1507 East 131st Place, Thornton, Colorado. All right. I mean, you're looking at it right now on the screen. But if you can look him up, I guess if you're going to look up and see what he does for work. Hey, thanks, you guys. Wicked Gaming and Donna V.
gosh. God, do you guys ever watch Gray's channel? He has a dancing alien. What a meanie. What a meanie Gray is.
Donation wave. I'm on board. Hugging face, waving hand.
Yeah. Really? Crazy. All right. So that's where he lived. They arrested him at that house. Whyte also was a soldier stationed at Fort Carson at the same time. All right. And Krashoc is the woman. Partially nude body was found by 2 police officers on routine patrol about 5:20 a.m. on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, behind the Korean Club restaurant at 2710 South Academy Boulevard. All right, and I don't think that's there any. I mean, the address obviously still goes somewhere, but I don't know. There's no Korean restaurant there anymore. Yeah, I think this is insane that on Google Earth, even though it's taking satellite images, it's actually, to get these 3D versions, it's recording as it goes over the curve of the Earth. So you literally get some side information. It's unbelievable. So, you've got these, Jimmy John's. Who knows where this was? It's 32 years ago. This strip mall might not even have been there, okay? But it ends up being right in this area. So this is where she was found, behind somewhere in this area right here, behind the Korean restaurant. Okay? But she was actually out prior to that. She was dumped there. Okay? She had been strangled. Listen to this barbarian right here. She had been strangled with a coat hanger and leather straps after being severely beaten, bitten, and sexually assaulted. She also might have been thrown from a moving vehicle. The night before, she had gone to a club called Shuffles at 1861 Academy Boulevard with other soldiers, where she spent the evening drinking and dancing, police said. She was last seen leaving the club between midnight and 1 a.m., and that's when she went missing the night before. Well, let's see. Let me get the date up here. Because if they found her body at 5 in the morning, but they are saying the night before, so she must have went missing on the, let's see, where she spent the evening drinking and dancing. She was last seen, yeah, it says the night before. Oh yeah, so I think this is the same morning. Like if she left at 1 a.m. and then she was killed, but then she was found at 5:30 the same morning. Because when you say the night before, you're just meaning, 11:59 or earlier, right? Unless, if you guys can find where she went missing on the 16th. I don't see that, though. Well, I guess she would have, well, no, it would be 1 in the morning on the 17th. Yeah, so she'd been strangled with a coat hanger and leather straps. But she was last seen leaving a bar called Shuffles. Okay? And that location isn't really too far away from this one. Yeah, it's right there. So now there's no Shuffles there anymore, but this is the address that's in the article. Okay? This is a liquor store. This is something else. Again, 32 years ago, things change. Here's what I'd say. If you ever want to start a business, though, get a 7-Eleven, okay? Because have you ever seen, be honest, have you ever seen a 7-Eleven go out of business? I haven't, man. Every 7-Eleven that I've ever seen my entire life, wherever I've lived, is still there. Okay? Thank you, Love and Living. Even though I'm so mean.
Subscribed and Patreon, Leuven your channel even though you're so mean. Smiling face with smiling eyes, smiling face with heart eyes.
Oh, you did a Patreon. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Right. That thing is you've never seen a 7-Eleven in my whole life? Oh, come on. But seriously, every 7-Eleven that I've ever seen, they've been there since I was a little kid. It's like, wow. I mean, if you want to buy a business, it's like a McDonald's almost, right? How often do those actually shut down? Yeah. Makes you wonder, hey, why don't you invest in 7-Eleven stock and McDonald's? Probably should have been doing that for the last 40 years. All right, so anyways, the two bars that she was at that night aren't really there now. I don't know if, if maybe that's a bar. Let's see what, no, now it's an auto zone, okay? This is a liquor store. Now, either one of these two could have been a bar 32 years ago and then converted into an auto zone or a academy, a liquor store. That's actually kind of interesting looking, don't you think, with the cracks? I mean, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it's almost artistic. Right there. Doesn't even look real. Looks fake. What are you saying, Gray? Is this all fake? Like they haven't repaved this parking lot for. I think the dark you see there is them filling in cracks. Somebody comes by and fills those in. So, anyways, this is where she was at 1 a.m. Then she severely was, beaten, strangled, raped, bitten, thrown out of a vehicle, and then her body was dumped right here behind the Korean Club restaurant. Okay, this is 1987. The evidence indicated that Krashoc's body had been moved and left behind the Korean Club restaurant. When Krashoc's mother spoke with her daughter a week before her death, Krashoc, and this is, somewhat interesting here, Krashoc had changed from a soldier ready to re-enlist to a frightened woman ready to go AWOL, to get away from Fort Carson. But she wouldn't tell her mother why. So, God, this is another one of those frustrating things. It's a little bit like Rachel Del Tondo, just tell people stuff. Okay? Let people know what the hell. If you're scared about something. What was the other case? Remember the one with the girl in the suitcase? Remember? She was fearing for her life, but her mom didn't know why. Well, and then she ends up dead, put in a suitcase. Had she just said anything, people might have been able to do something about it. Or at least been aware, if something does happen to you, the guy wouldn't get to be out there for 32 years having a good old time. Yeah, in 1996, so 9 years later, Krashoc's family came to Colorado Springs and plastered car windshields around Fort Carson's with a plea. I was only 20 years old. This is what they put on the windshield. I was only 20 years old. They took my dignity, my pride, and my jacket. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true, right? I mean, you just get thrown out of a vehicle, half naked. There goes your dignity, right? And pride's, part of that. And my jacket probably means clothing. Then without mercy, they took my life. If you know something and think it's significant or insignificant, you're mistaken. It's probably the missing link. Krashoc was assigned to the 73rd Maintenance Company. So you kind of wonder, did they have any clue at all it was this guy? It's sort of like the East Area Rapist, The East Area Rapist one, though, actually is frustrating to me, especially with hindsight, but it almost seems like somebody should have made the connection that you had when we heard later in the East Area Rapist case that he literally had been fired as a police officer because they found that he had stolen like dog repellent and other sort of weird shit. I think was it like a hammer or something? I don't remember what it was, and then he was fired. And so didn't anybody go, remember that guy that was fired? Isn't that weird that he... It just seems like people don't think very much. Especially when, in their case, they had everybody was thinking about it. It was huge. I mean, it was literally a massive thing going on. So didn't anybody just sort of go, wow, yeah, we had this weird police officer who actually broke in, stole dog repellent. I mean, why would you ever need to steal dog repellent? Unless you're somebody who's trying to break into, oh my God, into homes. Right? Yeah, it just seems like it should have been easy. Although, I'm doing the hindsight thing. So maybe there wasn't any trigger that made anybody think about anything like that. Although it was right during that time. And then they should have realized, like, wow, so the rapes moved now to a different location. Eventually, the case went cold, but in 2004 and 2011, it was reopened for laboratory testing. See, I think that's awesome. Nobody really forgot about this case. All through the years, 97, and then as advancements. Sometimes you just got to wait for advancements. And in 2004 and 2011, it was reopened for laboratory testing. And somebody, obviously, when these advancements were made, they went, hey, you remember the Krashoc case? Let's see if we can find something now. And so they were testing, and unknown male DNA profile was found on several pieces of evidence. So that's when it all kind of started right then. Is that, I don't know what they're using, the FBI or whatever the hell they've got. They've got some crazy DNA extraction stuff going on. I think even now it's even way, like 1,000 times more advanced than what was going on right there. In 2016, that's when the bigger leap was made. Agents from Army Criminal Investigation Command and Colorado Springs police officers sent submitted evidence to the United States Army Criminal Investigation Laboratory. I'm sort of wondering, the reason you can't find any information on her missing at all is because she was in the military. And same thing in the Coley McCraney case. Like, they keep everything sort of limited to the military. It doesn't make it out into the public. You don't hear about it. Even though this happened on the streets of this town, I couldn't find an article that even mentioned her name as being found or anything. Her name didn't even show up in any newspaper clippings, at least the ones that newspaper.com have. All right, so in 2016, agents from Army Criminal Investigation Command in Colorado Springs, police officers submitted evidence to the United States Army Criminal Investigation Laboratory for additional DNA testing in a collective effort to identify additional potential leads, police said. The testing included reanalysis of previously submitted items for Y string and evaluation for phenotyping. Phenotyping is using crime scene DNA samples to predict what a suspect would look like. Let's see, YSTR, which is taken from the Y male chromosome, is often used in forensic paternity and genealogy testing. In December of the same year, CID sought the services of Parabon Nanolabs, a DNA technology company that specializes in DNA phenotyping. Using available DNA evidence from the investigation, the analysis produced trait predictions for the suspect, including the suspect's ancestry, eye color. The ancestry part was probably pretty close, but they definitely got the eye color wrong. Okay, I don't think there's any doubt about that. This is the first time where I was like, whoa. I have never seen one where they weren't on the money on the eye. They actually ruled out the correct eye color. That must be a little bit shocking for them. . It's important to note that the composites are scientific approximations of appearance based on DNA and are not likely to be exact replicas of appearance. Environmental factors such as smoking, drinking, diet, and other non-environmental factors, example, facial hair, hairstyles, scars, etc., cannot be predicted. Right, exactly. Was there anybody out there that thought that it was possible that collecting DNA would be able to tell somebody if they had a scar on their face? Did anybody even think that? You paid for a snapshot? Wow. That's expensive. Yeah. Or did you just get a sheet of paper that said what your eye color and stuff like that would be? Yeah, well, good. I'm glad nobody actually thought that. Alright, not like it exactly. The pictures were released to the public in 2017. So this same thing happened. April Tinsley, a lot of companies were doing this, phenotyping. In early 2019, Colorado Springs Police and CID sought the same cutting-edge genetic genealogy DNA analysis on the unknown suspect DNA profile that had led to the arrest of other killers. From that, they were able to identify Whyte as the alleged killer. Detectives got an arrest warrant for Whyte on Wednesday, and he was arrested Thursday by the Violent Offender Fugitive Task Force. Let's see. Words cannot, and then they go on to, wow, this is so great. And it is. I mean, it's freaking amazing. I mean, she was serving in the military. He was still serving in the military, and it sounds like there was somebody in the military, like a stalker type. And I know that's a lot different now for women in the military than it was in 1987. Okay, they don't put up with any of that bullshit anymore. Even though it still happens, they just don't put up with it. Doesn't. So she goes out having a good time, and then disappears and is severely beaten, raped, strangled to death with a coat hanger and leather, and dumped out of a vehicle, and dumped behind a Korean restaurant that wasn't far away at all. As a matter, I think it's like, I'm gonna say that's probably about a mile. Let's see. I'm gonna guess. Let's see. I'm gonna say 0.79 miles. I haven't done it yet. Let's see how close that is. Oh, 0.89 miles. Darn it. I was off by a tenth. So it's not quite a mile. And the military base, Fort Carson's over here. It's pretty big. I mean, it's just huge. I think these are all housing. Just this whole area basically is the base. I mean, Colorado Springs is probably a big, well, it's just a big base in Colorado Springs. They're probably a big part of the economy there, I would imagine. And apparently they have a trailer park there. So, good news. That happened, and there was an arrest made using genetic genealogy, leading straight to the arrest, where the phenotyping led to nothing. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen any cases yet where phenotyping led to the arrest. One thing that's good about... That's why it needs to be cheaper, okay? I mean, why not at least be able to get to, like, specific races or something like that? Because once you do that, you can start eliminating certain portions of the population. You know, you might say, like, if somebody is, you determine that they're white, they're probably, now you've eliminated 30% of the population. Ugh, that cough. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to probably keep coughing. It gets kind of tickly and then I cough. What's Parabon? Jesus. Parabon Nanolabs. They developed a product where you can submit DNA and it comes back with their race, eye color, skin color, hair color, and freckle count. And then they evolved into doing genetic genealogy. However, Colleen Fitzpatrick apparently was doing it prior to that, but for other reasons. I think they started using it for law enforcement first, maybe. I don't know. I mean, don't quote me on that shit. But. Well, anybody can use it. You just submit it. How come Bush and Beach Lifestyle was, that comment was removed? Yeah, you don't need to delete it because I mean, I don't think there's, I think that's a word, isn't it? Let's see. No, that's actually a word. It means causing slight but persistent annoyance. That's like the perfect word to use for that. Now I see what she wrote, but that wasn't a typo. That's actually a word in that one. Yeah, there was no typo there. No, it wasn't a racist remark. Okay, look. That's actually a word. I'm just putting it on the screen. It says, causing slight but persistent annoyance, discomfort, or anxiety. And that's like an absolutely perfect description of the cough that I have. There's no racial component to that term right there. It has nothing to do with anything. No, you didn't mess up at all there. Yeah, but I mean, do you follow true crime much at all, Laura? I mean, Parabon's been in the news for literally almost a year and a half now, almost weekly. It's a big deal. I don't know. I don't even think the origin of that word has anything to do with that. It just, I just think it's crazy. I mean, it's just, But I understand what you're saying. Thank you for looking out, but I'm just saying, I looked it up and had nothing to do with that. That wasn't the word, Gene. It was, oh boy, I just showed the word. It was correct. It means causing slight but persistent annoyance. Okay? Everything isn't race related. Okay? Sometimes words are just words that have nothing to do with anything. Racial. I've heard that term used before when people are talking about something that's kind of bugging you. That's why I was like, whoa, what was wrong with that? And then I looked it up on the side, and turns out there was nothing wrong with it. Jesus. So anyways, I don't know what that means, Jojo. Gonna have to speak, right English. Right, so even the origin is completely innocuous, yeah. How's the weather in Portland, Joe said. Today was better than, it's only like 80 something. Well, I was kind of just done with the story already. But anyways, no, I mean, I'm not talking, it's not just on our live though, Laura. Like Parabon Nanolabs has been in the media for a while. I mean, they had almost the exact same thing in the April Tinsley case. They did the phenotyping, and then they went into genetic genealogy, made the arrest in that case. It's a pretty big deal. Oh yeah. By the way, on one of what do you call it? Oh yeah, the lady that's been making fun of my channel. One of the comments in there was by Bex Paranormal, the wacko. She's like, gosh, I can't believe he's so hypocritical. He doesn't believe in EVP readings, but he has a personal paranormal channel. It's totally different. Okay? My channel is for people, that channel, for when everyone has those weird things that happen to them that they can't explain, they want to tell the story. It has nothing to do with freaking listening to an app and claiming you are hearing something. Okay? I mean, she's crazy. And by the way, that Bex Paranormal person, she hasn't been doing the EVP readings for a long time. When the Delphi case first started, there was this guy that had flown a drone at the bridge, I think like the day before. The girls were there, and he had footage on YouTube. And she made him the focus of her life for months and months. And every once in a while, I would check in and say, are you still thinking it's this guy? She goes, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. And then she kept posting about it. So I actually contacted the guy, and I said, hey, you've got this, you might want to take down your video, okay? You got this crazy lunatic going after you and posting stuff about you in groups. And then I shared with him the screenshots because I felt bad for the guy. He's just a guy walking in society doing nothing, just enjoying, put up a video, and you have this wacko behind the scenes creating this whole narrative about you that's fake. It's false. So, yeah. Anyways, that's what she was doing. And then that wasn't working out for her. So then eventually she said, hey, how about EVP readings? Yeah. I mean, that just shows you the reality of it. Unbelievable. Yeah, well, I saw her comment and I was like, oh boy, really? What do you mean the screen's gone? Am I off the air again? No, oh, huh. An error occurred. Can you guys hear me at all? I'm not sure what the deal is. Can you see Google Earth moving around right now? Oh, weird. Because my screen does. Look at my screen says. Apparently, this is what you guys are seeing, but it says an error occurred. Please try again later. Maybe if I refresh it, let's see what happens. I bet that's going to be it. Oh, there you go. Okay, forget it. I actually stopped the stream and started it again because I saw that. So that looks pretty good. All right, you see me and Google Earth moving. All right, so in the next couple days, I'm gonna cover this case right here, Ashley Morris Mullis. Somebody sent it to me, and there's articles that have really a lot of information on it. Seems kind of interesting. So hopefully, I think it'd be cool just to kind of go over it for a while, you know, a few different shows till we get it all figured out, and then figure out what we think happened. Hey, thanks, Barbara Smith. 2,000 views. That's what I'm talking about.
2,000 views for you before I go night night.
Awesome. All right, let's try the old Skype again now. I'm going to stay on for another half hour, I think. Let's see if it works. All right, there it is. There's the number. Give it a whirl. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I don't know who. Yeah, so call in about anything. Ask a question about CrimeCon. Talk about these cases. But right now it's open lines. Yeah. Well, this one just popped up on another page. There are so many cold cases out there. It's actually it's crazy. Unfortunately, 90% of them have so little information about them. I mean, it's literally like last seen at a shopping center. Don't know what they were wearing, but they were seen at the shopping center, and they haven't been seen since. Call 1-800. Wow. I mean, how do you find somebody like that? And what's sad about that to me is it sort of shows that the family's not really engaged in it. Why don't they go to NamUs and write up a whole thing about them? Something about the person. You know? They obviously know that exists. So, you know, they need to get on there and type up what they know about the person. I didn't see Chris Hansen. That's funny because I've been using the name Chris Hansen in my fake ad where I go, "This is PIR, Portland International Raceway with Vegas Saints at the Pinewood Drag. We have Rod Laver, a retired astronaut with his hydroelectric car. He's guaranteed to rip up the road right in front of your face. We also have Chris Hansen with his Beavermobile, the only car that knocks down trees at 200 miles an hour." See that one? Yeah. Uh-oh, here we go. Hello. Yeah, who's this? Is this Kit Kat?
This is Kit Kat.
I said it first.
You did. I just wanted to say hi and break the ice. You know, I'm the icebreaker,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well, it's a Beavermobile, Joe. It was the only car that knocks down trees at 200 miles an hour. Okay. All right. That was my fake ad that I just did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you guys should all go to CrimeCon next time.
You know, I've started saving. I'm really, really gonna try because I went to Orlando just this last April and went to Disney World with the family.
Oh yeah.
So I would love to go back and go see my freak family.
I mean, it'd be cool if
awesome.
there was like 50 people and we all had shirts on and just sort of hang out, go do stuff in the evenings. You know.
That would be great. That would be awesome because, like, I'm addicted to your channel. I will openly admit it.
Oh,
But
yeah?
yeah,
Good. I guess.
The freaks are like so awesome, and you're so awesome, and I don't watch anybody else. I just am like, no, thank you. So
Well, awesome. Yeah, we could do like the Nefarious. I did see a lot of your comments supporting me on the hater channel, but so I appreciate that. I didn't. The funny thing is they think I went and said, "Hey, everybody, go over and comment." All I said was, "Hey, go see what was said," right?
I would like to say that I went over there and did that, but it must be another Kit Kat.
Well, I didn't say you did. I just said I saw you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that you were talking specifically about me.
Yeah. Hell no.
I just went over to one of the channels just to see what it was about, and it was so awful. I couldn't handle it. I was like, this is ridiculous. You're crazy.
Yeah.
So.
And then there's this other YouTuber I was watching today. See, he calls it trolling if you show up to his page and say, "Hey, yeah, that's not right. There's no chance." And you kind of go, and well, here's the thing. There's this one YouTuber that makes videos on the Delphi case that are so childish, with really stupid graphics and kind of goofy music. And the stuff that's being shown are so absolutely meaningless. Like it's amazing, and people are believing it. So I'll say, "Hey, this is just garbage." I have said that, but people go, "Well, why can't you just let it be?" Because for me, it feels so disrespectful. Like you're making a mockery of a case that's so disturbing. You're just goofing around. So.
I agree. That's awful because it is a horrendous, awful crime, and if somebody is out there doing that or just not even getting the facts straight, that's a disservice to the family, to law enforcement, to anybody who wants to see it solved. And so I agree with you.
And the weird part is he actually he didn't include me in it, but he listed a bunch of channels that he wants shut down and told all of his subscribers to go help try to do that. And see, and I recorded him saying that, so now I can actually, it's like you can't do shit like that. I have never done that, ever. I've never said, but that happens all the time in, quote, the YouTube streets. You've got these channels, and they go, "Oh yeah," and they send people over to just get the channel shut down or something. And
like bully channels.
It's crazy. It's nuts. The fact that somebody would even, to actually tell your subscribers to go help shut down a couple channels. And then I went and looked at the channels. They've got like 12 subscribers. What are you wasting your time for?
Why would you do that? That's so childish.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, to be honest with you.
No.
Right.
I do have a question about a case.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
The motorcycle rider guy, has anything new come out about him? And the last time I think we heard anything was like 2 days ago, and they were searching that river.
Man, just throw me. That's so weird. The motorcycle part, but there's been so many cases I covered. I don't even remember. Just tell me
His name was like David or something like that. And he was test driving the motorcycle. And
yeah.
The rest stop.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. Yeah, if you said like the test drive pilot or whatever. Yeah, I should have caught on with the motorcycle comment, but I just it popped in my head too. I was like, God, there was a motorcycle one. Which one? Yeah, I haven't heard anything new on that. If they found him or not.
They haven't found him. That's just an odd situation, especially that last picture of him. That's just eerie. Like, what was he doing?
He looked kind of, he looked sort of creepy, really. I mean, if I was just going to be honest.
If one of my friends sent me a picture of that, even a boyfriend, I'd be like, what are you doing?
What was his name? David Gordon Johnson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can find if there's any updates. By the way, I flew my drone again tonight. It's pretty fun. It's so weird doing the waypoints one. There's a thing where you're just looking at the Google Earth. It looks just like Google Earth, and then you put like I went to this huge school where it has 2 baseball fields. There was nobody there, so I just put a pin in each corner of this whole park, and then you can set the height and the speed. And then I put a little pin in the middle of the park, and then at each location it kept looking at that one spot, but it would go like 4 miles an hour, keeping that right in the middle, go all around. So I can see using that for searching, right? You just set like a path. Let's say you want to check a river, you set it down all the way down the river, and maybe 50 feet off the ground or the water, and then just have it flying. And then with the controller, you can actually move the camera around and look all around. You can look in any direction you want to as it's flying.
Wow.
Yeah.
How far, and this might sound like a really stupid question because I am not drone savvy whatsoever. I mean, what is like the basic, like how much of a perimeter can it search? Like how far can it go out away from its control?
Well, I mean, like there's rules and shit, but if you don't have the rules on, I mean, there's been tests with the drone that I've got. They've gone up to like 6 miles or so away. It's pretty crazy.
And then, like the radius, how far is the radius? Is it like 6 miles? I mean, obviously it's not going to go 6 miles.
Well, I can go
away,
6
but
miles would be a radius, I guess, because it can go 6 miles in that direction, 6 miles in another direction. Or it could even go more. I mean, it's just all... And the thing, what's cool about it is I think you could have it probably go 10 miles. But the thing is, once it loses connection with your controller, it actually, at some point goes, oh, shit, and then goes back home by itself. All the way back to the landing pad. It's wild.
That's cool. So it doesn't just, like, fall out of the sky.
Yeah. Well, it just kind of flies back home and lands right on a little, like within a foot of where it took off from.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like what Raven just said, it's all about the battery. So I don't even know how these people went 7 miles, to be honest with you. Because you get like 28 minutes, 30 minutes of battery time. But if you gun it, you kill the battery. So let's say you're 6 miles away. You'd almost have to gun it to get back home, but you'd be just drain the shit out of that battery by the time, quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're doing that. They must just go there and quickly turn around and come back. Well, actually, yeah, because look at that. Like if you go let's say the drone's flying, well, I guess if you hustled it out there at 25, 30 miles an hour and then turned it around at like 55%, see how far it got. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, we just switched right over to drones. Yeah, there's no new information on this guy. There's no updates for 3 days.
On the motorcycle dude.
Yeah, on the motorcycle dude.
Well, I just wanted to say hi, and have you ever been to New Orleans before?
No, never been there.
Oh, I love New Orleans. I love the food, I love the architecture, the music. What was your favorite place in New Orleans to visit besides CrimeCon?
I don't know. I didn't do any of the sort of... We tried to go to the World War II museum, and the next day, my wife just kind of went by herself because my mom had, what was it? Like, there are these big donors to it, so they have free... Like, we can go for free. So we went there the day before, but they closed. They only open 9 to 5 every single day of the week. I think that's kind of dumb. Like on Saturday or Friday, you know, just stay open until 7 or 8. So, anyways, we had to
7, yeah.
Yeah, like we had to go home, but it's government probably, so they don't do that. So I go home, but the thing is, I'd been out late and getting up early every day, so I just said I had to sleep. So she got up and went. It was only like a quarter mile from where we were staying, and so she went and looked around for a couple hours, came back, and that was it. She said it was pretty cool though.
Did you make it down to the French Quarter at all?
Yeah. That's where we kind of went out both nights. That's where I did my karaoke.
I haven't seen the video of that. I don't know. Have you shown that? I've heard chatter in the chat about how awesome it is, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, it's not. The audio isn't that great. It's pretty quiet. I don't know. You can't really hear what I'm saying for some reason. Even though it was loud in the room, I don't know why it didn't record it.
Didn't you do Vanilla Ice or something?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Ice, baby. That's right.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, I guess I'm going to hop off here. I just wanted to say hi. Hello, freaks. And,
Sweet.
I guess maybe Raven should call in now since we're kind of on the subject of drones, so. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, well, you can go to check it out on John Crimes' channel. He's got the rap. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I don't know.
I will have to do that.
Yeah. He said I could play it on mine. Maybe I'll do it one of these days.
You should. That'd be awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks for calling in. I will talk to you later.
All right.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Here, I gotta go get something real quick. Still on it. I'm trying to. Hello. I'm trying to look. I was looking for an adapter.
Hang on just a minute. Hang on just.
I was looking for an adapter.
Yeah, I was looking for something to plug in my my video into it. Hello?
It's your worst nightmare.
What's going on?
Sassmare.
How's it going? The Sassmare.
It's going, hun.
All right.
I'm just kind of wondering about something.
Yeah, what's that? Wihello?
I'm right here.
No,
I'm just hearing feedback.
I'm it's crazy. My wife's telling me she thought I was still on the phone with like just talking to her. I'm so confused right now because I went to go get something. What the hell am I looking for? God. I have this thing that I bought for where you can plug in and watch, the drone footage, but forget it. An adapter. Oh well. Anyways, what do you? I don't know where I put it, so I can't play it. I was just kind of quickly looking for it though. So what's going on?
I was just going to bring up something with the bridge guy.
The bridge guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on? What do you think?
I'm just kind of wondering if maybe he's a what do you call a non-secretor?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering if that might be the reason why they can't.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to know. I mean, there's no really way to know, like for us to actually know that question. Wait, hey, Lanky Jenna, what are you saying? You think I should go get my cough checked out? Well, I inhaled some liquid, so it kind of probably made my lungs kind of weird. But maybe. I don't know what to do with something like that. I mean, how do we know if it's a non-secretor or not?
Well, that's just what I'm just wondering, because he had to have left some DNA somewhere.
Yeah, well, maybe they just couldn't find very much.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Could just be that they couldn't find very much of it. But it seems like if you find any...
Being very quiet about it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I can't stay on very long. I got to get up very early in the morning. But Bush and Beach, I think she should be a moderator.
Okay, cool. What do you... Yeah, maybe.
A non-secretor, Bush and Beach, is a... how do you put it? They don't put out very many secretions.
Well, that's what you... I think it's more complicated than that.
But it's way more complicated than that, but that's the...
No, the actual definition is an individual of blood group AB or AB or AB who does not secrete the antigens characteristic of these blood groups in bodily fluids. So you wouldn't be able to tell what blood type the person had.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of wondering if that's what he might be.
Well, he could be. That's the thing is I wouldn't know.
That's I can understand that. I just keep coming back to that might be one reason that they can't get a identity or something on him.
Yeah, it could be a reason. There also maybe there just wasn't a lot of DNA left at the scene. Like maybe there wasn't really a sexual assault, We don't know anything about that.
Yeah, but surely to God they would be something.
No more water pipes. Nope, that's not right, Joe. That's not what I'm doing. All right. Well, I don't know the answer to your question, but I was trying to find. this adapter thing, but I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Maybe I could transfer. Yeah. That might not even work either.
Don't you y'all freaks, y'all need to smash that like button.
Yes. Smash it. But I'm gonna go get the my little micro SD card really quick.
All right.
All right. So I'll see you back in the chat. I'm gonna go get it over off. It's in the background.
Well, I'm going to get ready for bed here very shortly.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. I don't know if he's a non-secreter. You just never know.
Well, that just keeps coming into my mind. I don't know.
Yeah. So let me. I'm gonna go get that, and you go back in the chat. I'm gonna play it here in a second. All right. So I'll be back.
Right.
I'll be back in a minute. All right. Bye. See ya.
Love you, Gray.
Love you too. Bye bye. All right. Yeah, so I found the adapter, but then I just realized it was for my laptop using a mini USB port, but I did figure out a way. I'm going to put some of these videos on. I don't know if it'll work because they're so big, these files. Well, it's trying to transfer. They're pretty big files, though. I think the minimum, they're like almost 4 gigabytes. Cocoa, but I want chocolate. AI. You remember my... Yeah, that's what you gotta say. You gotta say, hey, wow, what's going on? I forgot my name. You gotta do that, Shogun. You gotta go out and I want you to do that experiment tomorrow. Go to, when you're with a friend, act absolutely bewildered. Why do you guys keep saying go see somebody if my cough keeps going? Yeah, maybe Monday I'll go get it checked if it's still bugging me. Might be like a upper respiratory mild infection or something. I don't know. I don't know. It could be all kinds of things. Well, you're supposed to go to your friend and you say, I said this on the show the other night, so I thought you were referring to that. Where you say, you go up to, when you see your friends, go up to them and say, "Oh wow, holy crap!" And then they look at you and say, "What? What's going on?" And then you say back, "I forgot my name." All right, see what they say to that. It's actually kind of funny because they actually might try to help you and say your name. I thought that's what you were referring to. What do you mean you're beyond lost, Ryan? I guess maybe you didn't show up on time because we covered 2 cases and now we're just randomly bullshitting until my drone footage from today gets transferred onto my mini, well, it's a thumb drive, but it's USB 3. I've actually forgot my girlfriend's name before. Like, you're being introduced and you're just nervous, and then all of a sudden you just have this weird moment where you're just like, what in the hell is your name? I know, that's bad. You know, usually early on, all right? Yeah, it's a little bit like the lizard eyes, right? Wow. Your eyes, they look like a lizard. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, yeah, one time, see, this is all when I'm younger, though, okay? But one time, I bought a birthday card for a girlfriend. It was a really great card. I love the message, but it was something about, I think it was like "Happy Birthday, Mom" or something. but the message on it was perfect. I just didn't notice that part. I thought I was in the birthday card section. Yeah, that didn't go over very, very well either. Yeah. Wow, you forgot the address? Wow. Yeah, what was the other one? Yep. I remember one time I think I was like, shit, what was I? About 20. And I went to get a job interview at a hotel. And I wore this like cream, I look like an absolute idiot, all right? And some will say, "Well, Gray, you still look like one." I don't care. But what I did was I wore a cream-colored suit because I didn't have anything else. And the night before, I just got absolutely obliterated somewhere. And I showed up in there like about as hungover as you could possibly be. I'm being interviewed and I'm slouching in the chair and chewing gum. And it's like, I mean, I wish it was on film. It was so bad. It was horrible. Yeah. And then one time she was even asking me a question. And I was sitting there and I said, I had this weird like twitch thing that happened because I was hung over and I went, what? Like like I didn't even hear what she said, and then my head like snapped back in. It was just, oh my god. It was horrible.
Gray, please check your cough. We love you.
Oh, did you really? Everyone has crazy moments in their life, right? You know, some have more than others. But... All right, I'll get the cough checked out. Probably on Monday. No, hell no. I think they even called the recruiter afterwards and said, "Who in the hell was that guy?" Oh God, I'm not getting a chest X-ray. It feels more irritated than anything. There's a little tiny bit of, when I cough, a little bit of, but that's about it. I've had this before when I've accidentally inhaled a little bit of liquid. Yeah, you like the Oogla Boogla merch? Oh boy. There is such a thing called dry drowning. That's what it feels like, kind of inflamed, but has a little bit of, like phlegm, I guess. I mean, I haven't coughed up any, but I can kind of feel it sometimes. And like when I woke in the middle of the night, I had earplugs in and I could hear when I breathed, it went like I'd breathe out and then there'd be this extra sound at the end, and then I coughed a little bit and then that went away because it cleared out whatever was sort of in there, but it wasn't a lot. Yeah. I don't feel like I have pneumonia. I mean, I've had it for like 4 days now. Doesn't feel like it's any worse today than it was. Yeah, maybe that was it. And it was so humid over there too, so maybe that irritated my lungs. Thanks, Cairo. I heard if you just take tahini and wheat germ,
When I go
that'll
from
solve
the
everything.
south to the I cough for weeks, probably that.
Yeah, just mix a little wheat germ and tahini and perhaps a pinch of golden seal. Drink that down, and by God, it cures everything. Yeah, I was saying on the show, I think you could literally swim in the air in New Orleans. If you just got enough lift, you jump up and then you start breaststroking, you could climb. It's that thick. Yeah, wheat germ, let's get real here. Yeah. Well, if that was the case, when you get staph infections, you should just drink. Hold on a second. All right. Well, I got some of the footage from today. Let's see what that looks like. See, isn't that weird? That's actually drone footage right there. Like, you'd think that was just a still image, but it's not. I think I was at 300 and I was adjusting the brightness on that one. But it's just so freaking still, and it was kind of windy out there. So I don't know how it does that, but oh yeah, and look at this is what I'm talking about. See, right now I'm controlling the camera with my finger on the screen. So you can look however you want. Like, see how I'm following kind of the dog running down there? And then just kind of looking down. So you can freely move the camera on it. So it'd be great for surveillance, you know. If you could get a little quieter, put it up in the air. And then you just hit a button and it immediately looks straight down. And then hit it again, it looks straight out. I think I go up to 388 feet in a minute. Yeah, it makes you get dizzier. See, like I later had to go right around the edge of the park, but then looking at the baseball diamond off the screen below, all spots. There I am, right there, using the drone. I think it recorded that whole video while I was programming in what I wanted to do. Let's see. No, that's not going to be it either. So I think the next one maybe. Oh, see, it wasn't focused. You have to press on a button and manually focus it. So I guess I forgot. But see, this is automatically doing all of this. See the baseball diamond right there? So right now the drone's going to go 4 miles an hour to the other baseball diamond, but keep looking at this one. So it's just going right on the line of the park. See, I'm over there, up in the upper corner here. That's how smooth this sucker is. And right there, you can actually take over the camera if you want. So right now it's looking at this baseball diamond, and it keeps doing that the whole time as it goes around. See, now it's going down the back part of the park, but it'll keep. I put a point of interest like right in the middle of this, so the camera will keep looking back at it the whole time. And I'm looking at it on the same shot on my screen right there. I'm on the ground down there. Good night, Wiki Gaming. Thanks. Sorry about that. But this isn't really heights. It's a video of heights. But see, isn't that cool how you can have it always look at something? And now it's going down the other line, coming in.
Night Grey, I can't do heights. Night Freaks, hugging face, nauseated face.
And I think I broke off the landing there. I did one where I just kind of take off really fast. Let's see where that one is. See, like, you wouldn't even know that wasn't a video unless the fact that that person's walking down there. Man, isn't that just amazingly clear? Look at that. Yeah, that's just bizarre. It was really gusty. I don't know how it does that. I mean, it literally doesn't shift at all on the edges. It's just... Who submitted Matterhorn? I don't know what that means.
Does anyone know anyone who summited Matterhorn?
Oh, that was one of the extender arms that I put on right there. Oh yeah, right here. I just took off and went boom way out over that fence, kind of fast. Although it's not you know, it's only like 20 miles an hour. But I wanted to go like way over here and come back, but I'm still kind of nervous about that. See, now I'm sitting on the stairs over there. Man, it's kind of bizarre. I always get nervous that somebody will take out a BB gun and shoot it. I went to this grade school when I was in 3rd grade. Robert Gray, ironically. And there it is landing. Anyways, there you go. That was the practice. So where are we going tonight on the flyby? I gotta go to bed now. But before I go to bed, thank you to Kit Kat, Wicked Gaming, Donna V, Love and Livin', Barbara Smith, Lanky Tor, Cairo Al Qadir, Wicked Gaming, and Lanky Tor again. Awesome. I really appreciate the support there. Oh yeah, mount. Let's try that one. Yeah, looks pretty cool. Looks like the moon.
Boom! Good night, freaks!
Woo! All right. Thanks everybody for showing up tonight. A couple different sessions. Did a couple shows today, but I got to go to bed. Got to get up early. All right. So thank you all for showing up tonight. And Blue says hello too. Sorry for the confusion earlier. I couldn't find the adapter. My wife thought I was talking to her, but I was talking to you guys. Got pretty confusing there for a minute, but that's it for the show tonight, everybody. So until next time, be safe out there.